How can I help? Political activism doesn't mean that you are an elected officer. It means that, how can I help? You understand? It means that if you see injustices happening in your community and you walk past and you do nothing, you have not done anything. How can I help? How can I help? Are you seeing my point? How can I help? Are there social injustices happening in our community here in Acholi?
Some of us who are fighting for justices, those people need to know that it's not my fault to be a woman. Let's talk about land issues and law of succession. We are still trying to advocate for the women because the brothers to the deceased think they can grab land anyhow because a woman has no right. It is a social
but is
injustice.
That the true Acholi culture? That a brother in Acholi culture is allowed to chase away his sister, his mother, his wife from the land. Is that Acholi culture?
No, it is not. Actually, we had a discussion with her, so she's reporting what we discussed. And also, let me preempt on what we discussed. We realized that also as young people, we need to position ourselves and using the three powers. One power is the power of first impression. How do you make yourself available for somebody to know that you can actually be a good leader? Because somebody can just see and know this is a leader, how you dress, how you present yourself,
Leading
how you
by example
articulate
like
your
her.
issues. That is one. Two, the power of unity. How do you make yourself, you're in here, how do you coordinate with your colleagues? That one we also saw with her that it works. Then another thing, the power of networking. How do you make your network be your net worth to make sure you can participate properly in a society?
Thank you very much, but I don't want to lose the point. Is it Acholi culture that a man is allowed to chase away a sister, a mother, a grandmother from the land? Is it Acholi culture? No. Why is it happening?
Why it's happening? Can I give the reason?
Yes, go ahead very quickly. And
why is it happening? I want to give two examples. One, we have been in war for over 2 decades, and that is a known fact. Now, we have families, because land here, it is customarily owned, meaning under customary tenure.
Yes.
Now we have family A, B, and C. You find family A where a child has been born. He knows that this is our ancestral land. But now because of the war, somebody has been displaced to Camp A. But still the government see that Camp A, it is not very safe. Somebody is shifted to Camp C. Now this child knows that my ancestral home, it is in Camp C, not knowing that my root, it is in A. Now, this now comes with now, the parents have been killed, child-aided family.
So there is that angle, sorry, in the interest of time, your boss here is warning me. In the interest of time, that is an angle which I am not really focusing on. I am focusing on an angle where a brother chases away a sister. A husband chases away a wife. Let us give them also a chance to say something. We will come back to you. You were saying, is that Acholi culture?
Thank you very much. I strongly disagree with what you're saying. Why? One, this thing is happening because of many factors. Acholi culture is enriched with a lot of norms and values that we do respect properly. Now, a brother or a sister chases the other. Let's say a brother chases a sister. Now, why do you do that? The reason is only one: behavioral factors. Sometimes how a brother behaves in a family, or how a brother behaves in a sister behaves in a family, becomes more disrespectful to others. So families don't value such properly, and that is how sometimes you are chased away from a home.
People are greedy. People are greedy. Not only
so you don't disagree with me. I'm just saying, is it Acholi culture?
It is not.
Go ahead.
The reason why I'm saying it is not, people are greedy to the extent that because of too much traumatized when people were in the camp, people forgot that that land there you are assessing, your sister, your brother, uncle, is an ancestral land. That because of that greediness and poverty, so we have been in that traumatized war for over 20 years. So because of that greediness and poverty, you feel that if you send away, you chase away your brothers and sisters, you own that land alone, the money that you sell the land out of will help you to develop yourself, maybe plus your family, ignoring the rest.
Okay.
So it is greediness.
I disagree with that because, okay, it is happening. But the main issue that is bringing that, the cause of that problem is, you find that polygamy. You find that in a family.
Please, let us listen to her.
In a family, a man has 5 women, or even 12 of them. And you find that when the man has passed away, the children will start fighting over their properties and the land. And you find maybe the children of the first wife who have grown up are chasing away these young ones. So they need to at least get a way of talking to this elderly of the family that you see all these children are from the same man, so they are entitled to all the properties you need to share. But the main problem is polygamy. People are having 4 women, 5, and those big children are chasing away these other small ones. I'm talking out of experience.
Does Acholi culture allow that?
They don't allow.
Okay.
It is not in our culture.
Allow me to talk about the point I mentioned. I think the reason as to why laws of succession is still focused on the women, okay, it is because the culture at some point said, they thought that a married woman, once you leave your home, they don't leave you your share.
Is that the fact for Acholi culture? I want us to speak the facts of Acholi culture. Is that the fact for Acholi culture? She's speaking. Go ahead. So start from, does Acholi culture, that is the question we are debating. Is it Acholi culture that you are allowed as a man to chase away the female from the land?
It's not law.
It's not Acholi culture.
It is not law and it is not the culture of a church.
It isn't.
Okay, but why is it happening is
But
what we are saying.
Yes, the challenge is the perception that once a woman gets married, okay, the men this way, where the ancestral home is, they think she's not going to come back, or she's not rather going to have any share on the land remaining at home. She's already married to the husband's side, okay? So they don't leave you any space. What if the other side now they chase you and you come back to your home, they don't give you anywhere, or they'll rather say that you don't have anywhere you belonging. So they have any right to chase you at any time and you go.
But that is not the Acholi culture.
It is not. But
Okay,
it's the
we
practice.
need to interrogate that.
For me, I say it is not actually culture.
It is not Acholi culture.
But the issue is greed, as my brother said it earlier on. Our fathers and our mothers, they expect that when you reach a particular age, you're supposed to get a home, produce children, and settle there. But also at the back of their mind, they sometimes know that things may not work out well, and you can come back home. In most cases, they give you some small piece of land, of course not compared to your brothers. But then here, we look at our brothers who are thinking that they are more concerned than our fathers or our mothers. Yes? So they end up taking the land as if it was really theirs, and yet they very well know it was our parents that gave it to them. So the point here is greed, and even poverty to some extent is pushing people to feel that this property is theirs and theirs, so the sisters are married, they are gone, they are no longer counted this side.
Okay.
In any case, even if I went to my home, I have a right for my father to give me a land to come and stay even freely. So I think that trend should change. And that will change over time. Because many families, if it's by God's provision that I give birth to only girls, they will look at that as a problem. They would prefer the boy child, which is a bad practice. Thank you very much.
There you go. The law. I'm coming back. Like this.
You'll find that maybe when the father of the home is dying, the will was not left. So the men of the home, or the boys, or let me say the men of the home. They will think all the cows, the lands are theirs, but not knowing that the girls also have that privilege to inherit what their parents have left behind. Thank you.
Okay. We come back this way, next, and then, okay, then we will go there, and then we will come back here like this. So we are discussing the facts. What is a Acholi culture? Many people are saying it is not a Acholi culture to throw off the girls or the women.
This one is not a Acholi culture, but this thing is happening, whereby a man can chase a woman from the land. Due to some other factors, among it is like laziness. No men from nowadays, some they are lazy.
The men are lazy.
Yes.
People, let us hear this one.
Of the responsibility of a time. So for me, I feel like the lazy bring more things. Because when you're lazy and you don't want to work, you feel like you can't do anything.
But what do you mean by lazy?
Laziness, not being active in doing work. So at the end of this responsibility, okay.
Digging.
Like if, for example, let's dig in the garden. So if you don't dig, so that means you need to chase a woman such that you sell maybe the land, you get something.
To get a motorcycle?
Yes.
Let us say the facts. Okay? And then first go to the other lady, and then we'll come back to you. And then we will come this way, and then we will have to wind up because chairman is warning.
Okay.
But you see, I needed more time. I am still here for the whole week. We can have another conversation. Chairman has a program.
Maybe just to contextualize, one, I'm not from Acholi, and two, I'm not a youth. So my submission is going to reflect as much. First of all, I would like us to reflect on what is culture. Culture, for me, is the norms, the customs, the practices of a certain group of people.
And right now we are discussing Acholi culture,
yes,
and we are going to the point.
If you do it every year, over time, it gets passes down onto people over and over and over. At some point, it's easy to think that is the culture. So who is the custodian of this culture?
Exactly.
The gatekeepers of culture happen to be men. The propagators of this behavior happen to be men. So at what point do we say this is not culture or this is cultural? Is my only submission.
Exactly, and thank you so much, because that's where I was headed.
Yeah.
If it is not Acholi culture, how did we get here?
Exactly.
When we look at our culture, sometimes we have cultural laws which squeezes people. And especially when it comes to land rights. Women are not accepted to even own rights, yet the Constitution says it is also their right.
But we have just confirmed that that is not true Acholi culture.
I'm coming
That's
to the
what
point.
we just confirmed.
Yes,
so
it is not
that preamble
true,
is in contradiction with our confirmation.
It is a true, it is not a true Acholi culture. Because even in Acholi, when we find a homestead is like this, there is an elder who has a home, and that home it is not owned by anybody. And there are other homesteads that surround that home of a father or the elder. Now this house here, it is not given to anybody. But people occupying this place, it is also not given to them, but they maybe have a share of where they dig and store.
They have use rights.
Yes, they have the right to use. But normally they claim that. So this other house that it is here and the land that is here, normally it is left not for anybody. So that when a lady is married somewhere, she goes and has a problem in their home, she can come back and she will be welcome here in this house.
So Acholi culture provides for her return.
It provides for her return. But now, because of what people are talking, greediness, it is where now the girl child, it is not supported. But also, most importantly, when we look at the PRDP, the Peace Recovery and Development Program that the government has initiated, a lot has been done on development program, and on the peace recovery processes, little has been done. And we should accept that people are traumatized. There is too much trauma, and people need to be supported on counseling and peace recovery processes.